Welcome to the show, everybody. It is game day. Every Sunday morning here, I'm going to be talking last-minute news and notes with you guys every morning. So make sure you guys tune in, give you guys that last bit of advice, that last little bit of a motivation before you guys set your lineups and get ready to watch the games. I watch all the games. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. If you guys are new to the channel, I got a full schedule of excitement going on throughout the entire season. So make sure you guys click subscribe. We're talking our DFS show Wednesday. We're talking our preview show on Thursday, full NFL preview, matchup preview to help you with your spreads and fun stuff like that. And then Friday, we do a starts and sits. So go back a couple days, watch that starts and sits episode as well. Now, in this show here, it's going to be very brief. It's going to be very quick. We're going to talk about, guys, very simple, guys. We're going to talk about the injuries. If there's any injuries, we're going to talk about Saquon Barkley a little bit. Should you start him? Stuff like that. Darnell Mooney was banged up. Odell Beckham. I'm going to go over that briefly here with you guys to help you guys get prepared. Now, week one is pretty chill, right? Because it's going to start getting worse. Injuries are going to start happening, and then this Sunday morning episode becomes a lot more crucial as you go through this, and also do a waiver wire here as well. So we're going to cover you all year. Make sure you guys do click subscribe. If you guys are on Spotify and Apple, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, whatever it is you got to do there. Hit that button and subscribe, okay? Before we get in this show, guys, take 30 seconds here. Head on over to DraftKings.com or just go download the app. You can draft right now using promo code FFLion. So everyone's got a phone. I hope most of you guys have a phone. If you don't, I don't know what you guys do, unless you guys want one of those rotary old dial phones. I'm sure you guys don't have that. So download the app DraftKings, okay? Go do that right now and use promo code FFLion and get into the game. They're the official, guys, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL. Go enhance that game watching experience, and you have a shot at $1 million in week one. So go get signed up right now. Remember, use that promo code FFLion when you sign up. Understand, guys, a $5 minimum deposit is required. There is some eligibility requirements, okay? And, of course, head on over to DraftKings.com for details. Download the app right now, guys. Go do it. Use promo code FFLion. You can draft right now. Enhance that game watching experience. I got my DraftKings lineup set already. I'm pumped up. And here's the thing. I did a Wednesday DFS show. Go back and check that out. That's really going to help you with your DraftKings lineup. Also, the starts and sits will as well, because you know all the optimal matchups at each position, okay? Now, let's go over the last-minute news and notes here very briefly. Odell Beckham Jr. knee is expected to play in week one against Kansas City, assuming he doesn't experience any more issues. Now, again, Odell Beckham Jr., if you're an Odell Beckham Jr. owner, you got him in and around the 5th round. His value has been a lot better than it has in previous years, which was 3rd round overall pick last year and 1st round pick 3 years prior. Odell already showing some signs of banged up. I mean, come on, man. This guy is washed up. He's done. I'm not expecting anything out of him this year other than a safe, mediocre season at best. Odell Beckham Jr., I'm not an owner, and he is he's going to play. Darnell Mooney had some issues with his back. He's expected to play week one against the Rams. Now, from what I hear, if that back is bothering him, he may be limited. All these guys, that's something you got to watch when I'm doing these injury reports, okay, on Sunday morning. If they're questionable, if they're doubtful, if they're nagging, understand, guys, you can't get upset if they're limited, so you got to start them at your own discretion. So Darnell Mooney does actually have a tough matchup versus the Rams. It's not going to be an easy one, and they've got Dalton in there, so Dalton's actually got a really tough matchup. So is Dalton going to be the guy moving forward? And here's the thing. Dalton has a tough matchup. If he thrives in this tough matchup versus the Rams, then he's definitely going to stay in. But if he busts, maybe Nagy's going to use it as an excuse to say, we're going to use Dalton again as a tough matchup. Very interesting to see, and a lot of questions are going to be answered here in week one, so I'm super pumped about it, okay? A lot of people ask about Saquon Barkley with his knee. Apparently, he's medically fully cleared. He is starting, and this is something that I knew weeks ago. We found, it kind of broke last night. And I kind of said it, like, he's going to start, but understand, guys, he may be limited, not to mention they've got a Thursday night game, so it's a short week. So I'm wondering whether they're just going to feel him out this week and kind of preserve him for that divisional game coming up on Thursday. I think they're playing Washington, I believe. So I'm wondering if they're going to preserve him for that. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's limited on snaps. Am I going to start him? I probably am. I'm just going to go full force, have faith, because I have faith in my other team, the rest of my team, to really pull up their sleeves and make up for points. I'm going to start Saquon Barkley. I will not, I'm going to be a little upset if he comes up for 2 snaps. I'm hoping he gets at least 10 attempts minimum and a touchdown. That's what I'm banking on. But again, he's supposed to get, a full workload, apparently. We're going to have to see. I think it's going to be limited, okay? Josh Jacobs, his toe was bothering him. He's limited in practice September 11th. He's not listed on the injury report. Again, Josh Jacobs, they've got Drake there. He's going to be involved in the passing game. Hopefully, Jacobs gets involved if you own him. I've got him as an RB3 on one particular team. Hopefully he gets to go. Emmanuel Sanders, his foot was bothering him. He is likely to play. Apparently he's cleared. He's off the questionable list. Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver for the Bills, expected to play. Okay, guys? Austin Eckler. A lot of people ask about Austin Eckler. From what I understand, he did practice. He had a good practice on Friday. He has a good chance to play last I heard. Now, I record this at 8 a.m. in the morning. Chances are things may change between now and 11 o'clock or when you watch this or 5 minutes before the matchups. But Austin Eckler apparently is supposed to be good to go. I don't trust him. I don't think he's built to be a workhorse running back. And if he comes back too early from that hamstring, we've seen it before, those things linger, and it could actually make things worse for Austin Eckler. I don't trust him. I'm staying away, okay? Chris Carson already. Again, it's funny because it's like, not funny, but it's odd, isn't it, that the people that are always injured, Odell's, Austin Eckler's of the world, Chris Carson's, guys like that are always typically banged up are on the injury report. And again, I get it for guys like Saquon Barkley, who will, again, coming off that major injury, but guys that have been kind of good to go for a while, guys like Chris Carson already, his neck is bothering, but apparently he fully participated in practice on September 10th, not on injury report. But again, why are we talking Chris Carson injury already? Carson Wentz, another guy, right? Like, he had tons of time to heal. He got that injury in the offseason a little bit, but he's fully participated in practice September 10th. He's not on the injury report. He's good to go. I'm excited to see what Carson Wentz could do on my Colts. It's going to be very exciting. Brandon Ayuk, his hamstring was bothering him. He's good to go as well. Participated in practice fully. Not on injury report. I know people were asking about him. Noah Fant, his knee was bothering him. He is not on the injury report as well. Cortland Sutton, his knee was bothering. Not really bothering him. It was just from last year. People were wondering, is Sutton going to be good to go? He's going to be good to go as well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a little banged up in preseason with his ankle. Fully participated in practice, not on injury report as well, okay? Something here to note with these guys. If they're on injury report, they're questionable. Understand that sometimes, not necessarily this week, but they may be limited in a snap count. So don't get too upset, okay? Understand, guys, there is committees now going into this year. There's going to be a lot of committees. That's why I implore you guys to go robust RB early. And I can see people already starting to scramble. A lot of people lost J.K. Dobbins. They lost Gus Bus. They're scrambling to get running backs. It's like, well, if you follow the 16-round draft solution, you're sitting pretty here because you are set. You're good to go because you've got the robust RB. Now, injuries do happen no matter which running back you get, but at the end of the day, if you have a backup plan for a backup plan, you are good to go, okay? So some last-minute tips here before you're setting your lineup here. Join the Fantasy 365 community below. Amazing community there. I deliver optimal DFS plays, waiver wires, all that fun stuff, and we do a start and sit Q&A section where everybody dives in, helps each other. So Fantasy 365 below, get the season pass. But what I wanted to say is if you're torn between starts and sits, this guy or this guy, whether it be a flex position, a quarterback, whatever, one thing I do look at is the matchup. So a lot of people, for example, are saying, do I go Carson or do I go Matt Ryan, who's got a mid-range matchup, or do I go Justin Herbert? And at the end of the day, man, it's like, sometimes your quarterbacks are going to have tough matchups. But if you do have a better option that is a solid option, maybe start that person. It's week one. Guys, you got to feel it out. Week one is a totally touch and feel thing. Start your best players. I understand some of them are going to have tough matchups. Start your best players, okay? And it's going to be a touch and feel. Maybe, if Herbert has a phenomenal game today, in a tough matchup, now you're like, I feel solid with Herbert moving forward. And let's say you started Ryan. Okay, Ryan's a little bit safer. So start Ryan. And then if Herbert crushes it, then, I got faith in Herbert no matter where he goes. He's going to crush it for me. So that's the feeling that you guys have to have. It's really a touch and feel type thing. And I also implore you guys, again, to stay sharp on the waiver wire. Be aware of which players are available in your leagues so that you guys are sharp and ready to pounce on a waiver wire opportunity. Now, if you got 16 rounds, you're probably winning week one, most likely, and you may not get waiver wire priority if that's how your league is set. Now, if it's set on FAAB, make sure you guys don't jump the gun on waiver wires and get a one-week wonder type of player. It happens all the time. Like Sammy Watkins a year or two ago had that breakout game, that big game. I think it was on KC, put up a monster game. Everybody jumped on the waiver wire. That's all he did all season. So you really got to watch. You got to be thinking, 5 steps, 10 steps ahead when you're playing fantasy, when you're doing starts and sits. And again, if you're torn between two players, right, make sure you go with your gut feeling and also assess that matchup, okay? Just weigh out your options and you're good to go, okay, guys? So NFL Week 1 is here. I'm getting ready to go. I got to edit this show. Got to record it, edit it. Then I'm going to be answering some Q&As. I may do a live on Insta as well before the game. So I got a lot to do. Sunday mornings are very busy, but it's important I do this episode as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed here on YouTube. I also do a shorts video in under a minute, but that's very brief. This is a little more detail, a little more dive in, okay, guys? Subscribe. We go year-round again. I got a schedule of tons of content coming out throughout the week. I think my only day off is Saturday, okay, guys? Make sure you guys do subscribe. It's game time. NFL Week 1 is here. Make sure those rosters are good. And again, go right now, guys. Go right now to your phone, download the DraftKings app, use promo code FFLion, and get in the game, guys, all right? I'm out. We'll talk soon. Let's go. It's game time.